Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Empty on the Road Remastered. So just like in the previous episode, if you've seen it already, we will be taking our focuses onto yet another solo abandoned location. Plus with this place, you're absolutely going to love it. Well, that's if you're in the retail community. But either way, it's a place that you're all familiar with. So without further ado, let's get right into this thing, shall we?
There's a new old friend in the same old place, with a brand new name and a brand new face. Changing for the better, keeping the pace with the way you live today.
Now Kmart is Big Kmart.
It's a whole new fashion, a whole new style.
Big Kmart.
Lady, let me explain something. Lady, let me explain something to you. Lady, let me explain something to you. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. She gonna make me tell the K and the B off of this Kmart. Be back up. I ought to run right into her. Lord help me. I don't want to get in no trouble, Lord. I already. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. You know I'm ready to go drive straight through this glass. That's
Are you insane?
Did I take that was my parking spot and you gonna jump in front of me and take my damn parking spot?
So, here it is. This is the abandoned Kmart store located in Temple, Terrance, Florida, just located outside of Tampa. I've been dying to film this place ever since its closure. But before we check this place out fully, first, there's a couple of disclaimers that I want to mention. For starters, this footage was filmed back in November of 2019. I could have made the original video of this place at the time, but given the certain situations that I found myself in, which I'll explain later on, I figured I'd save this footage for the show and make a better version. So, here it is. And also from what I've heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently a flea market is attempting to move into this former Kmart building. If that is true, and more than likely it is open by now, then I want to give that place a shout out. If you're in the area of Temple Terrance, then go stop by there. They might have what you're looking for. I also say this just so I don't give the place any bad publicity. However, before this became a flea market, this was a well-known active store named Kmart. Let's go back to when this place was open, shall we? This is footage of the Temple Terrance store back in June of 2018. That was my first and also last time at this store as it was having a store closing sale. I'm glad I captured it on camera, along with a couple of other YouTubers. By the way, go check out Alex the Real Fanning Redneck. His channel will be in the description down below, also along with the pop-ups at the end of the video. Originally, we were supposed to do a collab video on this place after it closed, but life occupied us with other things instead. But he's a very nice guy and makes awesome train videos. As far as the store itself goes, there's not much history based on the place, other than it opening back in 1979, and it basically staying open for nearly 40 years. Had Lampert just gave it one more year, it would have celebrated 40 years in 2019. But that's Eddie Lampert for you. This store suffered what I would like to call Eddie Lamperitis, as thousands of other Kmart stores over the years have as well. But in all seriousness though, this wasn't a bad store. This store actually reminded me a lot of another store that I did. And the other store that I'm talking about was actually on this YouTube channel before. Yes, this YouTube channel right here, Three-Way Productions. That store I'm referring to was the Kmart store located in Hudson, Florida. Just think back to my What Happened to Kmart video. That was the store that was in that video. But anyway, the two stores had similarities despite two different layouts. The red sectioned walls with white letters, the red paper covering parts of the walls in the front of the store, clean appearances, and almost a similar layout. It was striking and also cool. This was also my first time inside a Kmart store ever since the departure of the Hudson store back in late 2017. October 2nd to be exact. Though, my last personal visit was in late September when they had 7 days left of operation. Seeing that place was really sad. Though, being here was actually remarkable. It felt amazing being here again. It felt rewarding. It's just a shame that I couldn't enjoy this feeling forever. But I guess it's as they say sometimes, that sometimes all good things must come to an end. Well, I don't know about all good things, but that's just what they say. I'm sure a lot of Temple Terrance residents really enjoyed this place as well. Like the loyal shoppers. I'm sure they've had a bunch of fond memories here. Memories that they'll carry on forever. Originally, I was supposed to come here and do an Open to Kmart series, also along with the other location being in Brandon, Florida. But that place winded up closing too, which happened randomly. It wasn't on any list whatsoever, though I think there might have been a lease issue, but that's just my opinion. But gosh, it felt great being here again. I don't know about you, but for me, Kmart just has a different feel when you walk inside of their stores. I feel like I'm in a different world, a far happier one. I guess it's due to me not going there as often as I used to, also along with how their stores are too. But it's still just simply amazing. I love it, and I'll miss it for times to come. Now, we fast forward from June of 2018 to November of 2019. Seeing the Kmart ever since its departure. Alright guys, here it is. Here is the abandoned Kmart of Temple Terrance. Here was the front of the building. It still looked the same, just emptier and more dead. Now, I just want to warn you that at the time of this recording, there was a super heavy police presence here. So, I was nervous. That's why I saved this footage for the show. I was very nervous, and I didn't really enjoy myself reacting so skittish and nervous in the video. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Though, regardless of that, I do want to give the Tampa Police Department a huge shout out. Just for doing what they do on a daily basis to keep people safe. And for also not thinking that I was a criminal. I tried my best not to look shady. So, thank you guys for trusting me. But here's a closer look up front. And I really want you to take a very close look at the front of the store. Notice how the Kmart store closing sign turns into a label scar on the building. If that's not sad, then I don't know what is. Then there's the big Kmart label scar, which doesn't show up too clearly. Maybe part of it was painted over. I'm not really sure. Then there's the garden shop one down by the end of the store. And for those wondering, this store did have a pharmacy, but it shut down a couple of years before the store itself closed. There is also another Kmart not too far from this one. Only 11 minutes to be exact. That one closed a couple years before this one did. I meant to check that one out too, but it took me a very long time to get down here, which I do apologize. They converted part of it into an auto zone, which, by the way, another shout out alert. I know, there's a lot of them. But, if you could, go check out Snowman. He's an Urbex YouTuber and checks out a lot of places around Tampa. He was the one who filmed the other Kmart that I was just talking about. So please, check him out. He makes really good content. Anyway, here's the inside of this vacant Kmart. Just sitting there all dark and glum. Pretty much being a shell of its former self.
Look inside, that's all I gotta do. That's pretty cool. Well, not really, but... Oh, look, spider web. Oh, wow. Now, I'm just gonna keep this quick, because I don't want to look too shady or nothing. You know, I don't come here with any wrongdoings whatsoever, so all I'm here to do is just film and help out people. That's it. Needles.
Here's a skittish look inside of the former garden shop. And I say skittish only because at this point I was terrified. And I knew that I was being monitored by police. So I didn't want to give off the wrong idea.
Alright, yeah. Anyway.
Just staring at me walking back towards the entrance just gives me the creeps. It feels like I'm doing it again, or at least just reliving that terrifying moment all over again. But what could I say? Normally I'd back out of a situation like this, but for instance, I drove a little over an hour coming here, and not only that, but this place was also on my bucket list. So I wasn't backing down from an opportunity to film. Even when I showed up here a multitude of times before, I still couldn't film it. It drove me crazy saying how I was going to film it next time, and next time, and next time, and next time, and next time. I was just glad that next time finally came, which was on this day. So now, here is a look at an abandoned Blue Roof Burger King, just across the street from the Kmart. Now, I didn't get out and get a closer look because again, I was keeping the heavy police presence thing in mind. And even though I was very close from doing so, I just thought it was necessary to play it safe and not cause any rackets or distractions. Plus, there was also another individual parked in the abandoned Burger King parking lot as well. So I didn't want to creep him or her out, and trust me, it may sound a little silly, but I almost got in trouble for something like this back in June of 2019. It was while I was filming Park Chasers. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Basically, I got what I could from inside my car. It sucks I couldn't grant the BK with its own video, but at the same time, I'm glad that Empty on the Road had a good place for it. Boy, filming in these cities is a hassle, but I got what I could. Here's also 2 abandoned H.H. Greggs, a Staples, Bed Bath & Beyond, BJ's, which this place was opened. It's just been years since I've last seen a BJ's, so that was pretty special to me, and that's why I'm including it pretty much. And, well, you already know what that place is. Those videos will be featured on the 3WP Explorers channel, so be on the lookout for those. So anyways, guys, that will be it yet again for another episode of Empty on the Road Remastered. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this one. I seriously do. Now, I may be ending this video. However, it's not quite over yet. There's actually 2 things. The first thing, when I was last at this Kmart store, the one in Temple Terrance, there was a specific song that played on their radio. It was the last song that I've heard before walking out for good. The song made me not only feel nostalgic because of the age and all, but this song seemed to pretty much in my eyes as a longtime Kmart supporter rock the occasion very well. The song was One More Time by Daft Punk. I love that song. I always have, and I always will. The last and most recent Kmart location that I went to was in Bradenton, Florida. My experience there was, well, not the best. As a matter of fact, it was actually the worst Kmart experience I've had yet. For starters, they overcharged me for a denim jacket I bought by like $11 or $12. They didn't have a lot of things to buy during their store closing sale, and the prices were awfully high for 10 to 30% off. Overall, it was a pretty crappy experience to say the very least. However, and this is gonna sound weird, but I still appreciate that moment to this very day. I promised myself I'd go visit this place in the St. Pete location one more time just to forget the awful experience I've endured. But it never happened. Life had other plans for me, which kind of sucked. However, I still appreciate the last time I walked into that Bradenton location, leaving it with something I've always wanted since high school, which was a nice denim jacket. Anyway, the end of this video will be my tribute to Kmart as a whole. I've decided that I'm not going to go to any more stores from here on out. My mind is fully made up at this point. The nearest location for me is located in Miami, Florida, and I just don't think I can swing that at the moment, or anywhere else anytime soon. I think wrapping up the chapter this way is a good way to end it. A good way to say goodbye to an old friend. I'm going to play the song One More Time by Daft Punk. Now, I do get it. I am completely aware that the song is completely copyright, but in this case scenario, I really don't care. I'm just going off of what feels right to me, and in this case, this feels right. This would have been better if I posted this video on Kmart Day, but pardon me for being a little bit late. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the tribute, and to my good friend Alex, I'm sorry that we couldn't get together to film this place. However, I do have something special for you at the end of this tribute as well, so I hope you enjoy it, buddy. I really do. Anyways, all of you guys take care, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching, and much love to you, Kmart. I'll miss you, old friend.
One more time. One more time. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright. Don't stop the dancing. One more time. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah. One more time. feeling. Celebration tonight. Celebrate. Don't wait too late. No, we don't stop. You can't stop. We're gonna celebrate one more time. One more time. One more time. A celebration. You know we're gonna do it right tonight. Hey, just feel it. Music's got me feeling the need. Yeah. Come on. All right. We're gonna celebrate one more time. Celebrate and dance so free. Music's got me feeling so free. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time. Music's got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate. Celebrate and dance so free. One more time.